Good morning, everybody. Just finished working out here at our private home gym. All right, and I wanted to talk about something that we were just editing some videos on this weekend, or Anabolic Andrew edited this, so thank you, Anabolic Andrew, for taking on the task of editing 15 hours of footage that we did at our last Impact event. So thank you very much. Now with that, real quick, so if you haven't already, grab a copy of our book. I got a couple here on the shelf. It's called Move Well Secrets. All right, the behind the scenes clinical approach to functional movement. And what we do in this book, which we'll send out to you for free, just cover shipping. Check out book.movenowu.com. We'll send it out to you. We ship these out literally every single day. So grab a copy. We're doing this for, I'm not sure how much longer, but that's why I'm talking about it right now on this Facebook Live or this podcast, however you heard this message. But what I was going to say is, before I get into this real quick, is that what we do at Move Now University is we help chiropractors integrate their practice with functional movement to increase their outcomes, the results, increase revenue for what they do, the services that they do. Although notice I'm starting with outcomes and results. That's why we built this system. If you want to just make some money in chiropractic, that's not what we're trying to do. That's not what this system is. Will it be profitable and lucrative when you invest more time and energy into understanding systems and clinical expertise and do a better job for your patients? Absolutely, but that's not what drives us on the front end. So now with that said, there was a 3-part video series that Anabolic Andrew edited, and it's about the recommendation card. So we have a card, I don't have one in front of me to show you, but it's a card that's got a bunch of stuff on it. We designed this. There's 20 plus reiterations of the card. It's inside Move Now University. It's inside the doctor portal. We teach doctors how to use this, but I want to talk about the concept of why we even have a recommendation card. And so here's what it is. There's a couple reasons. One is, if you have clinical recommendations for your patient, as far as what's the frequency and duration that you're going to see them for a care plan. What? You don't do care plans? Okay, well, that's the first thing you need to do. And care plan is not a bad word. It's not a 1980s coaching sleazy tactic to be able to get someone to sign up for care. But what it is it's a way of measuring objective progress if you're not just a pain-based clinic, if you actually want to make objective changes with your patients. So what kind of objective changes can we make that can give us an idea that we're improving someone's health with chiropractic and what we do as chiropractors? Well, I would argue one is having objective measures as far as looking at spinal integrity. So having grading systems that you use as far as edema on the surface of the skin. So severity of segmental problems, severity of subluxation. Then you look at severity of things that come along with that, like muscle spasm and asymmetry and pain. Okay, so that's one thing, right? That's one thing. The second thing would be static posture. All right, we look at static posture. What's another thing? We look at if there's a problem in the cervical spine. We look at flexion extension comparative x-rays to see if there's changes on flexion extension. So if you're improving someone's cervical curve and their movement integrity, you should have a change on flexion extension x-ray. And what's another thing that we're measuring? Like I said, static postures. If someone has a thoracic hyperkyphosis and a 90-degree thoracic curve and there's no contraindications or reasons for us to believe that we can't change that, why can't in 12 weeks we get that 90-degree curve down to maybe 70 degrees? That would be a positive objective change. You want some evidence about thoracic kyphosis and why it matters? Read the Cato studies that were done in Rancho Bernardo about thoracic kyphosis causing a decreased life expectancy. So now it's not about pain. And then the third thing, and I think one of the most important things that we measure, is functional movement assessment. We look at someone's ability to move properly, and then we apply interventions to improve it, and then we remeasure it multiple times, and we have an objective scoring system. Okay, so these are all things that we do objectively. So now when you do that, you have to have a clinical plan to put together to actually put this in place. You can organize all these pieces, right? It's not just, hey, I do a care plan, come in 3 times a week for 6 months, and then twice a week for 6 months, and then once a week for 6 months, and that's your idea of a care plan, right? That's unfortunately how chiropractic gets a bad name, is that there's no real explanation to the public as to what you're trying to accomplish other than, well, we're just going to adjust you a bunch of times, and that's corrective care. So I would be so bold to say that that's not corrective care. That's just adjusting someone's joint a million times, and you can overdo it. You can adjust someone too much. I like to go on the side of like what Dr. Gonstead taught about. You find it, you fix it, you leave it alone to an extent. I think leave it alone means check it periodically and have some sort of maintenance checkup, but it's not 3 times a week as a checkup. I think you could overdo it if you're over adjusting someone. So now with that said, when you organize these thoughts, when you organize a clinical plan, you have to have a card that you put it on. So we call it the recommendation card. So we track frequency, duration, checkups, comparative x-ray, comparative posture assessment, comparative movement assessment. Then we also write down and we track someone's abnormal postures. Okay, so if they have a head shift or a thoracic shift or a pelvic rotation. And then we talk about the postural corrective exercise that we're gonna have that patient doing in office. We're gonna progress them through a 3-tier approach: static against resistance, and then dynamic with a functional movement holding it neutral. I know I'm running through this quick, but I'm just giving you like a broad overview of all the stuff that we have to track clinically, thus why we need a recommendation card. And if you're listening to this going like, well, I don't do any of this stuff, that sounds awesome, and I wanna learn more how to do it, grab our book, okay, book.movenowU.com. And you can start there. You can reach out to us. We can jump on the phone, do a demo with you. We can show you behind the scenes how this works. We can let you know if we think this works for your practice. Let me continue. So I left off at postures. We also track disc types. So a D1 to a D6 disc. D6 is bone-on-bone fusion. D1 is a swollen disc. A D3 disc or more, we count as a problem. And all of these metrics tally into a wellness score, which we use Cash Practice Wellness Score. So I'm a big fan of Cash Practice. We have a wellness score template of parameters that we use. It's going to be uploaded in Cash Practice very soon, so all of our Move Now doctors can grab it without having to recreate it. I still have to make some training videos inside Cash Practice. I told Miles I would do that. Miles and Holly, I'll do that really soon. And what other metrics do we look at? We look at how much of a head shift there is, how much of a thoracic shift, is there presence or absence of a scoliosis, that's graded. Okay, we look at neurological deficits, we grade that. There's some other things on there too, but let's move on. We also plan home care. What's this person gonna do for home care as far as mobility and curve correction, and then what are they gonna do in office as far as traction, as far as curve correction, not long axis axial distraction, but extension traction, curve correction. So those are all things that we track on a card. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, also if there's functional movement exercises for their postural issue, meaning if they're shifted in the rib cage, so they have a left shift of the rib cage. I know Facebook Live is gonna mirror this, but I'm shifting my torso to the left compared to my pelvis. That means that this left to right sling on the front is gonna be elongated, and the left to right sling on the back is gonna be elongated, and there's functional movements that can start to engage that sling, which can help with that thoracic list, that shift in the thoracic spine. So that's now a unilateral functional movement to help correct a posture. We map that out on the card as well. So now patient is gonna go through this plan. We have this on a rec card. Second reason, this is what I put in the title of this Facebook Live, is then we hand this rec card to the person who's creating the financial agreement for the patient. And when I say agreement, I really mean just laying out how many visits, what it's gonna cost, what's the projection, not like you sign this and you're locked in forever. No, we don't do anything unethical. We don't do anything sneaky or immoral. We don't pressure people to say, you have to determine this right now or this deal goes away. We don't even use the word deal because I think that's very sleazy. But it's essentially on day 2, we're getting a commitment from a patient. Do you wanna be on the bus or off the bus? That's it. On the bus means we're doing corrective care. We're rocking and rolling. We're going, in most cases, for a moderate to severe adult, we're going 12 weeks. For children or for less severe adults, it might be a little bit shorter. And then we're doing all of our comparative objective measures along the way. Or off the bus is, you know what, doc, I just want to come in, get a couple of adjustments, and that's it. Okay, cool. I'm not going to put together a recommendation card for you. My billing staff is not going to put together a financial projection for you. There's a lot of steps that we're going to cut out, and then at a future time, you might want to revisit it. Our doors are open to you. However, like most of these chiropractors, most of you guys and gals watching this, you're probably pretty busy in your practice, and so you don't have time really to see someone and waste time with them and start preparing things that they don't want. So you find out what they want. Of course, you help inspire, and you help trigger inside of them for them to find their own inspiration to want to go through and be healthy, okay, and fix their problem, because that's ultimately what we're trying to do at the end of the day. Is we're trying to help people reach a optimum level of health and see something within themselves that maybe no one else has pointed out to them ever before. That's the deeper purpose and the deeper calling of what we do as chiropractors, and the team of chiropractors as well. Anyone that's part of the team, like I have my office manager on here now, Brandy, how's it going? I got Vlad, who's our support at Move Now You. So 2 of our team are watching this live, and there's a bunch of other people on here as well. It doesn't show me all their names, but this is the big purpose of what we do. And a side note, remind your team about that, because there's other jobs that you can do that are easier than what we do as chiropractors in a natural healthcare facility, swimming upstream, fighting all the billions of dollars of pharmaceutical propaganda and programming that's trying to take the public and push them further away from our message and closer to addiction and just, unfortunately, a mediocre and pathetic life. So that's what we're trying to save them from. That is the bigger purpose of what we do, okay? Why we do what we do, I should say. All right, so with that said, that's the rec card. We have a 3-part training that we did on this at our Live Impact event, and Anabolic Andrew edited all these videos this weekend. It's like an hour and a half worth of stuff. The first video I put up inside of Functional Movement for Chiropractors, which is our private Facebook group. So if you want to just search that, Functional Movement for Chiropractors, maybe Vlad can put a link in the comment section, Vlad, if there's a way to do that where they can link that out, that'd be great. And then you guys and gals just click on that, request access. It's only for chiropractors, so we're going to approve you for a chiropractor. If you're not a chiropractor, sorry, it's only for chiropractors. You can always go to chiropractic school. It's not too late. And you can check out that 23-minute training. It gives you a better idea of how the rec card works. It'll give you lots of ideas on maybe even your current systems right now, and just show you where you probably have some holes and where things can be improved. So with that said, I gotta get going. It's 7:09, I gotta go see patients. So Brandy, I'll be there in just a little bit. I gotta get ready now. So Brandy's our office manager again. She's watching this Facebook Live. And if you're on the podcast and you can't see anyone on the screen, or you can't see me, that's who Brandy is, that's who Vlad is. Vlad's our support. So if you're ever scheduling a demo to go through the inside, like behind the scenes of Move Now University, Vlad takes you through that. And good morning, Arnica, how's it going? Arnica, sorry, not Arnica. Good morning. All right, anyway, with that said, I'm out of here. I gotta go. Grab the book if you haven't already, book.movenowyou.com. And I gotta go inside and eat some breakfast because I just finished my workout. Look, you wanna see what my workout was? Flip this around. The workout was hamstrings, calves, and biceps. What? I don't even know. Is it the 17th today? That's what I wrote. I wasn't even sure if that's the day. And why am I doing that? Because I have a patellar tendonitis strain right now, so I'm not training quadriceps, everything around it. All right. Anyway, over and out. See ya.